Question 5. A rectangle has a width of 3 inches and a diagonal of 6 inches. What is the length? So we're going to start off by drawing a rectangle representing the problem we just read. It has a width of 3 and a diagonal of 6. So we're going to have to draw our diagonal, and this is 6 inches. What is the length? So this right here is what we're looking for. If we ignore this part of the rectangle, we now have a right triangle because all the corners of a rectangle are 90 degrees, so we have our right triangle. So we're going to identify the opposite of the right angle. That is always C. So 6 is C, and then we're going to have A and B. We're going to go ahead and draw our squares because we're going to be looking for the area of these two legs right here, and together they're going to equal the area of C, the hypotenuse. So the area is going to be A squared or 3 squared, which is 9. The area for this one is going to be C squared or 6 squared, which is 36. And then we don't know B, so we're going to go ahead and use our formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A squared, which was 9, the area for the smaller square was 9, plus, I don't have anything for B squared, so we're going to use a question mark. C squared, I got 36. So 9 plus something equals 36. To figure out what that something is, we're going to go ahead and work backwards. So minus 9 on both sides. 36 minus 9 is 27. So this missing area is 27. So the area is 27, but it's not asking us what the area is. It's asking us what this side length is. So we're trying to find this side length. So when I have the area, we're going to take the square root in order to find the side length. So we type that into our calculator, control x squared, 27, and we get 5.919615. So when I round that, it's 5.20. Let's go ahead and look at question number 6. The drawing on the right shows a side view of a picture frame on Mackenzie's desk. Which of the following is closest to the length of the frame support? So we're looking for a right triangle. I know right here and right here I have a right triangle. Perfect. I'll be able to use my formula. And then it's asking us what is closest to the length of the support. So we're looking for this right here. The opposite of the right angle, so that would be C. Right here, A is 4.2, and then if I look here, I actually have this measurement as well. It's right over here, so I'm just going to write it closer. So this is 16. This is going to be B. So I have A and I have B. I'm going to go ahead and draw my squares because I'm looking for this area. So B squared or 16 squared. My calculator, I get 256. And then this small area right here. A squared or 4.2 squared, I get 17.64. And then I'm trying to figure out what this area is right here. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. For A squared, I had 17.64. Plus, for B squared, I had 256. And then we're going to go ahead and add those together. And I get 273.64. But that's my area, and it didn't ask me for my area. It asked me for the square root. So it asked me for the side length, so we're going to go ahead and do the square root. So the square root of 273.64, and I get 16.54 if I round. And it asked us for the closest, right, closest to the length of the frame. That would be 17. Number 7, Nancy placed a 10-foot ladder against the side of her house so that the base of the ladder was 3 feet from the base of the house, as shown in the diagram below. Which measurement in feet is closest to D, the distance from the top of the ladder to the ground? So we're looking for this part right here, D, from the top of the ladder to the ground. Here from the ground, the building, to the bottom of the ladder is 3 feet, and then the actual ladder itself is 10 feet. So here is my right angle. Opposite my right angle is C, so 10 is C. Then I have A. So we're going to make this small one A, and then we're going to make the one we're looking for B. So we're going to draw our squares. The area of this one is C squared or 10 squared, which is 100. The area of A squared or 3 squared is 9. And so we're going to go ahead and plug that in because I can't find B squared yet. So for A squared, I have 9 plus, for B squared, I don't know what that is, so it's a question mark, equals 100. So in order to figure this out, we're going to go ahead and work backwards. Minus 9, minus 9. This cancels out, so I am left with 91 is this missing area. So this area is 91. But I don't want the area, I want the side length. So we have to do one more step, the square root of 91, the square root of that area in our calculators, and we end up with 9.53939. If I round to the nearest hundredth, 9.54. And it asks us which is the closest. So that would be J, 9.5. Now for our last one, point J is located at -4, -6 on the coordinate grid. Let me erase this. J is translated 8 units to the right and 10 units up to create point J prime. Which measurement is closest to the distance between point J and J prime in units? So we're going to go ahead and start off by plotting our point J, -4, -6, right here, J. And then we're going to go ahead and translate it 8 to the right. So this is 8 to the right, and then 10 units up. So then my new point right here is J prime, and I know this distance, I just went 10 units up. So we have our two distances that we moved, 8 to the right and 10 units up, so I'm going to go ahead and mark those. What measurement is closest to the distance between the points? So that's going to be here in green. I'm trying to find that distance. If I look at it, it's a right triangle. So we are going to label C first. Turns out C is the one I'm missing. Make 8A, 10B. We're going to draw our squares. So the area here would be A squared or 8 squared, which is 64. The area would be B squared or 10 squared, which is 100. And I'm trying to figure out what this area would be, right? The area of the two small squares should equal the area of the large square. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. For A squared, I have 64, plus for B squared, I have 100, equals, I don't have C squared, so we're going to go ahead and just add those up, 164. So C squared, or the area of the square attached to C, is 164. But that's not what it's asking for. It's asking for this green side length right here. So we're going to go ahead and do the square root of 164. So the square root of 164, 12.8062. So if we rounded that, we want two decimal places. We're going to look at the third number. That 6 makes the 0 round up, so it should be 12.81. The closest one to that is H13.